My name is Yazmin De Santos. I'm a graphic designer. Originally, I started as an accountant in a family business, but now I am employed in graphic design for a company called MBJ.
This is independent from Al-Mana Mosque.
Yes, this is independent. I volunteer at Al-Mana Mosque.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Yes. So I remember we had a conversation before.
Indeed.
And it looks like you are someone, I just want to apply these words carefully. It looks like you are someone who is a modern person, but you are Muslim.
Indeed, yes, I am.
So how come that you have chosen the path of being totally different? The reason why I'm asking this, many women, they want to appear in a either cultural way. I don't know whether that is a religious belief. Mm-hmm. And why have you chosen that when your religion, does your religion specify how a woman should look like? Or how should wear, not to look like?
Indeed it does. It says that we should dress modest and that we should be pious in towards our society, our community, men, females, as a group. And that's not just men, females as well. We have something called our aura that we're not meant to convey to other people. But reason being I dress the way I do, even though I do dress at times full modest clothing, is prior to the fact that in the society we live in this day and age, this is not a Muslim country. We live in London. This is a British society. You know, there are many different cultures, religions and ethnicities around us all. So even though I may live in an area which is probably more ratio in regards to Arabs and Moroccans, but as a whole, in this country, we have to fit in, not stand out. So I don't believe that mixing with society and outsiders and dressing the way you are can almost seem quite full on. Now, in regards to the fact that where I work also, now I am dealing with customers from all around the world. Now, even though half of the job is being a sales associate and actually speaking to them through the phone, when they come to meet me face to face, some are stunned as to who I am rather than hearing just my voice. So in regards to that, I believe that when I do show my appearance, it's more so of the fact to show that yes, we are Muslims. Yes, you have seen a particular type of Muslims, but there are many different kinds. And I am just as capable as you. And in order to have that job role and to speak to the community and to speak out, I have to fit in and I have to dress in a way where I'm approaching can be approachable.
Okay, so then how can you help explain to other ladies there who are saying we are not changing, we need to be what we want to be because our culture says so? Do you think they are trying to marginalize themselves?
I believe that as a whole, some people are stuck to a certain routine and schedule in their life and either have been raised like this or have been mourned and, you know, kind of are immune to it now. So no matter where they are based, no matter who their neighbor is or who they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, they believe that as a whole they don't have to change their appearance in order to fit in. Now, in the society we live in now, you're either a friendly neighbor or you're a stranger. So as a whole, if you want to feel warm and welcomed, if you want to feel safe and you want to feel one of the neighborhood and one of the society, then in order to have people to feel like they can approach you and be that kind of person, then you need to make show and make them realize that they are just like you and you are just like them.
So, or maybe how about your family? Because it could be that your family itself is relaxed about all this because they know maybe they understand as you. Is that did you get that sort of understanding from your parents, knowing that we live in a different country, we have to adopt but keep our religion?
Indeed. My mother is of many different siblings. She has many different brothers and sisters. And she is the first child of my grandmother that married outside of our race. So everyone, we are Moroccan, and we have always stuck to our own kind, dating back to years and years back. My mother moved to this country when she was very young, a toddler. And she actually went to live back in Morocco and actually came back and got married in this country. However, she did already have a passport and a visa and was living in this country before she got married. So that alone was one pedestal further that put her out of the stereotype. So moving past from that, my mum married originally a Portuguese man. Now he was reverted. He was not born Muslim. He had reverted when he was in his mid-30s, early 40s. So as a whole, that alone was something out of the ordinary, especially being that my family are quite the typical Moroccan. So in regard to that, I do believe that that was like the opener. From there on out, my mum made it very clear to all of us, and there is many of us, there's 7 of us altogether. So alhamdulillah. So I do believe that that was our way of realizing that, you know, we are not the typical Moroccan family. You know, we don't want to stick within our criteria and border. We don't want to have that same stereotype that is based on everybody and that people are following through until this day. Now, I actually want to mention something. I read on a poll recently, and it said that Goulburn Road, out of the whole of Kensington and Chelsea, Goulburn Road was the most unemployed road out of the whole of Kensington and Chelsea. Now, when I read this, I was appalled because in regards to who lives on Goulburn Road, it's mostly Moroccans. So put aside the market, put aside Portobello Road, just as a whole, the community that live there are unemployed. Now, I hate to think this because as a whole, we have so much potential and can lead and be so much in our lives. Leading on from there, my sister was like the groundbreaker. My sister married a Jamaican man. And my mom loves all different kind of races and religion. So when my sister had mentioned who she wants to marry, my mom approved 100%. She said, yes, I'm all for it. And we had this big gathering where there was jerk chicken, but then there was couscous, and there was dumpling, but there was samosas. You know, there was a bit of everything. And that really was warming to me, as I'm the youngest sibling, to see that my mom is open to everything. I'm not saying that the rest of my family aren't, but I am saying that they have been raised and their children have been raised and their children have been raised to believe and to only look forward and hope to marry a Moroccan.
So, you see, you guys, you have already sorted yourself out. How about your friends?
My friends?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, like, I have a whole different range of friends. I have English friends, I have Jewish friends, I have a gay friend, I have many different friends. And I believe that in a society, if you're looking to only friend someone of your own kind, then you're going to remain in a box and you're not going to see the world and you're only have your own perspective and it's going to be very limited. So to be honest, my friends, there's no limit to them. I'm always welcome to meet new people and I'm always open to meet new people. And reason being is because everyone comes with their own story, their own intel, their own background and their own path. And that alone is what influences me. Because
so do they sometimes ask you questions, questions about what you have chosen to be? You know, do you wear hijab? Do you wear scarves sometimes or no?
Yeah, I've actually had someone tell me that a turban.
Yeah.
Because Sikhs do wear turbans. And it is actually referred to a turban, but it's not. It's a pashmina wrap. But in regards to that, yeah, I have many questions as to. Some people say, like my older sister, if you see her, she doesn't look like a Muslim. Her appearance doesn't dress like a Muslim. She dressed like a day-to-day person, yeah, outside of the Muslim category. And when people see that, it's quite obscure to them because they see this is your older sister, so this is a role model to you that you've looked up to, but yet you are like this and she is like this. And I say, well, we are all our own people, and she's chosen this lifestyle and everybody is happy with it. No one's oppressed her or forced her to do anything. But I've chosen this and I'm happy with the way I am. But don't get me wrong, I am 20 years of age and I've only been wearing headscarf for 1 year.
When you meet some of the young girls who wants to be like you, what exactly do you tell them they should do?
Well, to be honest, you know, I always believe that people should follow their own path. And saying that, I am borderline going against what is taught. Reason being is because as the youth and as younger kids, you know, in Islam it does say when you reach a peak age, you have to cover up and dress differently. Now, this is taught throughout, and reason being is because a child moves on from a child to a young adult. Like you said, this happens in many other religions as well. But reason being is because I find that if children or young adults are more so given a lifestyle and are told this is what you're going to follow and this is how you're going to be, I find that when they get the chance to rebel, they do. But someone who has chosen their own way and mourned into it by themselves and, you know, found comfort in it within themselves, these people have a lifelong percussion and they stick to it for however long. So I believe that that's a very strong argument that I have. And hopefully when I do raise my children, I am going to let them know that our belief is Islam and we are all about peace and humanity. But at the same time, I don't want them to feel that they have no choice in the matter, especially being that we live in this day and age and in this country.
Yazmin, it has been nice talking to you, and it is very refreshing to hear you talk.
Oh, praise is you too, the one and only. He is the master of all creation.